Hi, my name is Jason Logson from adventure-logs.com, and today I'm going to talk about my new bar I bought, the Pintxo bar. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's from a new kiteboarding brand, Kauper-XT. He has a line of inflatable kites and these bars. He claims that he invented the door kiteboard. So he's been in the game quite a lot. But today, I'm going to talk about what I love about this bar and what I hate about this bar, and then would I buy it again. So first off, let's talk about how difficult this was for me to get. I'm from the United States. He will not sell to the United States. He says it's something to do with liability or insurance, something that I don't understand, but he will not ship these to the United States. The way I was able to get this was I was in Germany for work for a period of time, and the timing just worked out well where they were able to send this to me to my hotel. So if you're in the States, you ain't getting this unless you got a buddy that you can ship it to and then he'll ship it to you or something like that. He's just not willing to do it. So let's talk numbers. The bar as is 399 euros. He also offers a winter quick release, which would go onto this, for 79 euros. And personally, I think that is a requirement. You can also use some rope to tie it up to like a hook, but that's kind of sloppy, and I'll get into a little bit later why you need that winter. So anyhow, $3.99 plus $79, so it's not cheap. So I had some pretty big expectations. So why did I get this bar? Well, it's insanely light. This is 432 grams. I mean, and I'm constantly traveling, and lightweight is really important. So this thing, it weighs nothing. Also, with the lightweight, I do a lot of one-handed hydrofoiling, and it's really nice and light. Also, it's an extremely clean setup. You can see it has a backline depower, which I'll get into, but two lines, very, very clean, very easy setup. It has a clever depower system where it uses these back lines with these nuts, and it goes in and out, and that's how you depower it or power it up. I like that. It's nice and clean. For me, it works pretty well because I don't really adjust my trim very much. I do it in the beginning of a session and I kind of leave it. This thing has a huge amount of throw. I mean, huge. I have pretty long arms, and this is a little bit too much for me. So you don't even really need to adjust this that much. But a problem is that if you're all of a sudden you get a gust or the wind picks up and you're way overpowered, you may have some difficulty depowering this. Now the owner, he says, well, you can just, ride into the kite to take a little tension off these lines and depower it. I think that's a little unsafe if you're panicking because, hey, I need to depower now. It's not the quickest way of doing it, but it does work. Also, a couple other things I like. This comes with 24 meters of line, and the last 3 extensions make it very easy to, I don't have to splice the lines myself, so it comes in a 15 meter, 18, 21, and 24. I like that. I like that it's already spliced. It's nice and easy. The problem, something though that I didn't like about it is there's no bungees, right? And this isn't very much room. So when I'm wrapping up my kite, even with just 15 meters of line, it doesn't stay on here very nicely. And I haven't tried it yet with 24 meters, but I mean, it is, I wish that there was a little bit more curvature here, so when I wrap up the lines, I don't have to worry about them slipping off. That happens a lot. Let's see. let's talk about my biggest complaint. My biggest complaint is this PU tubing. All right, I like it's nice. It doesn't, it's not really wearing too much on, on your lines. I usually use Fly Surfer bars, and that center line wears out quite a lot. This is nice, but look at this. I have maybe 5-6 hours using this bar, and look how it's already bent. Not only is it already bent, it's already broken. This happened the very first session. I don't even know how this happened. But so now these lines are wearing, and that's going to be an issue. I've been talking to the company. We're kind of working it out. I'm just going to have to buy a new one, I think. They're kind of aggressive on things, but yeah, I hate this tubing. It's very fragile. You have to be really careful about bending it. And I mean, I've been careful, and it's still bent pretty bad. But if my kite is dry and my bar and lines are dry, I like to wrap up my kite with my bar. It just makes everything nice and easy. It's easy to travel with, no problem. You can't really do that with this. I got to be really careful how you store this. And I'm not the most careful guy with my gear, so I really wish that there was a better thing behind this. Also, this sometimes will get stuck. It doesn't move as nicely, and there's other reports of this starting to wear. I mean, there are little scratches, but it's not that big of a deal. But the biggest issue with this is that sometimes you can't go full left or right, and then also, look at that, also try to power up. I loop my kite constantly, and I fly foil kites, and I really crank it, and a lot of times I adjust my throw to either tighten or loosen up the loop, and it becomes an issue. I mean, Kauper he said that, oh well, that's because people are trying to loop way depowered, and that's not the right way and whatnot, and that's not the case. I mean, I'll be here doing it, and it sticks, and it's a big issue. There's got to be a better solution than just this type. There's got to be a little bit more flexible. I would rather have to replace this every couple years or whatnot than get stuck mid-loop and not be able to adjust how much power I'm going to get in the loop. Another big complaint I've seen is this bullet. And these lines, these little pigtails, they will get stuck. I have repetitively had the lines bunch up here and stopped my kite from looping. And that's a problem in light wind, when you're just barely keeping your kite up in the air and you're looping it for a transition, and this gets stuck, and all of a sudden the kite doesn't continue to turn, and then I'm screwed. That's happened to me at least a half a dozen times. I don't know what, like 3 sessions? So that's a big issue. This bullet and these lines should not be in the same spot. They get caught, and it's an issue. Another thing, it's very pretty. This is a very, very pretty bar. It's simple, it's clean, I really like it. But all the lines are the same. I mean, they're all the same. I don't like that. Even setting up a kite, I like to know which lines, are which. He does on the final 3 meters of lines. He has these pigtails that are color coordinated, but that's it. They're not on any of the other extensions. So if you're just using the 15 meters, you don't know whatsoever what line is what if you get a little mix-up. Now, some say that's not that big of a deal. To me, if I'm in the surf or anything like that and I'm trying to grab a line, I want to know what line I'm grabbing. I want to at least know if I'm grabbing a left or a right or a center line. I personally think this choice is looks over anything else. And with kiteboarding, safety should come first. It doesn't take much to make color-corded lines. I mean, why not? So that's been a gripe of mine. We really should have color-corded lines. Let's see. It's a very clever safety, as you can see with this broken tube. Go like that, out, and it opens up, and away it goes. But if you see now, it's stuck, right? Because of this broken tube. You know, it's nice, but so there you go. I lost my wintered. I had my line on my harness break, and I don't know, for some reason when it broke, it unreleased, and I lost the wintered. So I've been trying to use this without one on my loop, and I thought I could just hook a ring from my harness here on this part and just have this clipped in as a safety. That's not going to work with this bar setup. Basically, once you get a little bit of power in a kite, it automatically pulls to safety. The only way you can set this up is if, and I don't know if I'm doing something wrong, or maybe I can get a little bit of feedback on this, but it's got to have this ring hooked in this and then put into the quick release. So I don't really like that. It took me a little while to figure out, what was going on, why it kept pulling to safety, and I discovered it has to be like this. So that's kind of annoying. All these lines are already fraying. Look at that. That's frayed from brand new. These lines are, look at, these are starting to fray a little bit and get discolored. And this is less than 5 hours. This is a very, it feels like it's a very fragile setup, and I'm not easy on my stuff, and that becomes a problem. Also, all these screws are slightly stripped already. It's like they just, I don't know why, but they're all kind of stripped out. It comes in a very cheap bag, and I'm sorry, but this bag is kind of small. We need to be really careful about wrapping up this bar with this PU tubing. We need to have a bigger bag. I guess I was just a little bit disappointed in some of the things I've seen. It just really has a version 1 feel to it. Also, while this is nice and easy for the wear, I already noticed that these lines are fraying a little bit. They're already discolored, I guess, here. You can see, and they're already fraying, and that makes me worried that how long are these going to last if you're constantly having to depower and power. Is that going to be an issue? So would I recommend this, and would I buy this again? For $600-something, I expected something a little bit more. It's definitely version 1 feel, which is fine. You come to expect it, but really, it's this tubing. This tubing is what makes me would make me not want to buy it again. It's fragile. It's bent up. It looks bad the way it is now. Why make such a pretty bar and same lines and everything, and then have a part that after 2 uses looks like that? And again, it gets caught. It's fragile. It's something that I always have to worry about when I'm wrapping up my lines and packing things away. On traveling, you're trying to shove everything in a bag to keep it nice and tight, so then you got to worry about that. But it is so light, so I guess my recommendation is I would wait for version 2. I would wait until he updates a couple parts. But definitely, if you have any suggestions, comments, or anything like that, please put it below. I'm definitely interested to hear your feedback. Again, I'll put the link to him down below. I am currently in talks with him about this. I don't know if they're going to warranty it. I don't even know if they're going to send me the replacement parts to the United States. So I hope so, because this isn't a problem. I don't know, maybe I can take this off and cut it and shorten it up a little bit. That might work. I'll definitely keep you updated down below. And yeah, so there you go. What I love and hate about the Pintxo bar. Thanks for watching. If you're interested in foil kites, definitely check out my other videos. I have a bunch of educational videos on how to safely land and launch these kites solo. I have some reviews on some fly surfer kites and things like that. In the near future, I'm going to be doing a review on the new Groove hydrofoil board that I'm getting from Groove Kiteboards. I'm super excited. I got one of their skateboards last year. I loved it. This year I had them custom make me a super short 100 centimeter Wave, which is their new hydrofoil board, and I had to make it super short. So that's supposed to be coming in a couple weeks, so I'm excited about that. And I'll definitely keep you updated about this. So thanks for watching. Always appreciate any feedback. Thumbs up always helps. And there's a lot more to come, so make sure you subscribe. And this is Jason Logson again from adventure-logs.com. See you on the water. Thanks.